Yo, it's Big Guap Fiend. You not tuning in. I told you so. Don't act like I didn't tell you when I fucking see you. And I got a very special guest next to me, Dejon. Come on.
What's the deal, boss?
Come on. Welcome, man. Welcome to the show. How you feeling, brother?
I'm solid, man. Long day at work. Well, I'm here. Ready to talk about some music.
Yeah. I seen on your story you were in the studio last night.
Yes.
And then this morning I wake up to a song. So can you? We're gonna get into a lot of things today, but
right.
I just want to start off with that. Like, what's going on with that? First of all, are you a rapper?
No. Well, I'm a diss track rapper now, I guess, because I dropped a diss track this morning, as you pointed out. No, I'm just crazy. Like, I'm just erratic and crazy like that. So basically, Lil Vader dissed me because he got an F on the latest report card. And I'm like, man, I'm tired of these rappers dropping diss records on me and I'm not responding, because you got to think Absol dropped no report card. Jason Cash dropped D+. Eastside Cable dropped a diss record a couple years ago. So I'm like, once it got to like the 4th, 5th rapper to drop a diss song against me, I'm like, I'm hip hop. I got to respond. So I took my ass to the studio last night and I recorded my new diss track called Clown Ass Niggas. And put it out towards Lil Vader, and people fucking with it, surprisingly.
I mean, honest to God, bro, I saw the video, and then I went on your page today. I'm like, oh, he put it out, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, what the fuck? This guy can kind of rap. I'm not gonna lie.
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I'm happy. One, it was therapeutic, like just getting that frustration, that anger, all those emotions out of me while I was in the booth.
Sure.
Because you got to think, like I said, rappers been dissing me for years.
Yeah.
And I would normally just respond like with a paragraph or online in comments or something like that. But then also like, just to get an appreciation for what they do. You know what I'm saying? Making a song myself, I can respect these rappers and MCs even more, because it is hard to hear your voice and like it and catch the beat and stay on rhythm and find cadences and pockets and stuff like that. It's not as easy as I thought it was. So I feel like I'm happy I did it, because I feel like it's going to make me better at my job moving forward. I feel like I'll grade even better because I actually went in there and did it myself, tried it myself.
Was there ever a version of you that wanted to be a rapper?
No, because I
keep it a stack.
I don't. I like, people don't even know. One, I'm very shy. And then two, it's like, that looks like just a lot of work. It's like performing, a lot of physical activity.
That's fair.
I'm more stationary. Like, I like what I do. I like being in media. I love being, but I think the reason why people are gravitating to my record is because I'm a great writer. The way I write articles and essays and reviews on music, I'm good with words. So even being a podcaster, so I'm an orator. So I think that's why people fuck with the diss track, because of the bars.
Okay. Well, I want to get into that a little bit more. Before we start, bro, I think I need to take this opportunity to really ask you the questions that I feel like the general population of LA rap, or general, consumers of LA rap, these are the questions they want to ask you before even getting into this list.
Okay.
Now, first and foremost, why do you think you have the right to talk about LA music, not only to talk about it, but then to critique it?
Two answers to that. One, my left ear works and my right ear works. So I can hear. So as long as my hearing is fine, I feel like anyone that can hear should be able to speak on music online. If SZA or Cardi B or Young Thug drops an album, people go on Twitter and be like, oh, I just listened to the album, I liked it. Or they go on Twitter like, I didn't really care for that, or oh, that shit was trash. It's just their opinion. The same way Keith Lee can go to a restaurant and try the food and get on his TikTok and tell you how he feels about it. He's not a trained chef. Right. He go to culinary school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He just giving you his opinion on it. You can take the opinion with a grain of salt. Secondly, the reason why my opinion is valued, I feel, is because I've worked with LA rappers, particularly since 2008. Since I was 12 years old, I started as a social media manager. By the time I was in high school, I was an actual talent manager, and I managed all the way up until 2018 when I started doing this media platform. So I have nothing but experience working, particularly with LA rappers.
Interesting. Now, are there any of the people that you spoke about, like that you were managing or working with prior to coming on into the media side of stuff? Is there anybody that we know?
Yeah, well, Key Riches, rest in peace. He was an artist I managed for many years, an executive producer, A&R him, and executive produced his projects Get Rich 1, Get Rich 2, and I A&R his 1342 album. I worked alongside 211 as well for many years, from throughout my childhood and teen years as well. and just a lot of upcoming producers. That was my main thing, like managing different producers and beat makers and getting placements, A&R work, PR work for a bunch of people.
Right.
Working with BET to do their BET experience. I used to help them put together their Los Angeles to the Bay stages.
Okay.
So things like that I used to do as a teenager.
Okay, that's fucking fire. Okay, dope. Well then, I want to ask. You said the word executive producer, and I feel like in the current landscape of things, I don't think there's people who I really like look at like, wow, you're an executive producer. Yeah. What exactly? First of all, do you think that that's something that the game right now maybe needs? And number two, what does that entail?
Absolutely. So the executive producer to me is an intelligent person that takes full responsibility for the project. So if the project's good, it's on them. If the project's bad, it's on them. They're willing to take that responsibility. So they're going to, from getting the beats, overseeing the beat makers, overseeing the making of the beats, finding the right engineer, bringing in the right features, the artist's vocal delivery, they're going to have critiques on that, like, oh no, say it like this, say it like that, bringing in writers, bringing in background singers. And just like a producer for a movie, you're responsible for all the moving pieces. If it goes wrong, it's on you. You're the conductor. Right.
Yeah. Now, going back to this list, which I really do want to get into. Do you ever feel like after some time you might have been wrong about somebody or something?
Yeah, I'm human. Even times like where I feel like I left somebody off. Like I make mistakes. I'll be honest enough to say this. I left Roddy Ricch off of this report card.
Right.
Not intentionally, but because I'm not a robot, because it's not AI.
Sure.
It's been times where I left Earl Sweatshirt off. Sure. And then after I'm out, I'll be out and I'm like, oh fuck, I left her, because I'm human. I make mistakes too. Just like a school teacher would as well. It's like it's not robotically made, it's not AI.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so then let's get into this report card a little bit. Number one, who gave, did this idea, did you always have this idea, or how did this even construct to begin with?
No, I grew up on the rap report card. That's something people don't know. The rap report card has been out since 1987. A rapper named Kool Moe Dee made the first rap report card in New York in 1987. He dropped the album, I forgot the name of it. When you open up the album, it was like a marketing thing. When you open up his album, he had a report card where he gave himself a high grade and all the other rappers a low grade.
Right.
So it kind of was like, it made people want to buy the album just to go check out the grades.
Sure.
And so since then, many magazines and platforms in the late 80s all the way up until the 2010s did report cards. I wanted to do a LA rap report card because I felt like LA was missing the fundamentals of hip hop and MCN and those things like that. I feel like it was lacking.
Now, I'm glad you said that, because I think this feeds into a lot of the conversations we're going to have today. What exactly do you think is missing from LA rap?
Intelligence. I see a lack of intelligence. I deal with a lot of dumb people, in my opinion, to put it plainly. Right.
But were all the rappers, from the GOATs that we have in our in hip hop in general, I don't think they were all necessarily the smartest people per se.
I think the GOATs were.
Okay.
Maybe not like SAT high school, and I don't mean that when I say intelligence. But if you put like how Nas put pens to pad and comes up with those vivid stories, that takes intelligence. Or Biggie, like even Biggie's mom was a school teacher. Foxy Brown, one of my favorite female rappers. Her mom was an English teacher, so she always had a dope vocabulary. If you look at Jay-Z, if you look at Tupac, intelligent. I feel like some of the greatest songwriters, to write a great song, that requires intelligence. That's what I mean by intelligence. That's what I mean by genius.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or even from a business standpoint, like a lot of the managers I deal with just be these rappers, homies that roll the blunts, go get the lean, bring the bitches in, but they don't know how to put together the schedule for the artist or get the artist here and there on time and put together touring and things like that.
Yeah.
These people don't know about rollouts and branding and how to even put together a good album release party or listening party. That's what I mean by lack of intelligence. All of those moving pieces require intelligence.
Right. That's valid. Now, I'm glad you brought that up about Nas and, being able to put pen to pad or even writing down, whether it be typing it or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Do you think that the punch-in method has been a complete detriment to hip hop?
As far as the artist not writing whatsoever and just absolutely, but that comes from artists like Jay-Z and Biggie and Lil Wayne bragging about it so much in interviews. It made everybody think that they could do that, but it's like, unless your skill set is that I always suggest artists write it down. it just come out better in my opinion. But nowadays they just go in there and freestyle and say whatever they want to say and mumble and XYZ.
Right.
So it doesn't even necessarily matter. But I do miss good songwriting.
Yeah. Now, you know, as we go into the artists that are on this list and why you gave them these grades, yada, have you listened to the most recent project of all of these artists?
Yes.
Okay. Do you feel like the fact that the consumer no longer listens to an album from A to Z has also affected the type of music that artists are then putting out? It's like a two-way street.
Yeah, but for me, because I hear that they're like, oh, well, you know, our fan base doesn't care about the album or the full project, so we're just gonna go with singles. But you cannot name me contemporary, legendary West Coast or LA rappers that don't have classic projects under their belt. The only name that comes to mind is OT Genesis, and he doesn't get critical acclaim. Like, the report card is a form of critical acclaim, like getting 5 mics in the source. That's like getting an A on the report card, XYZ. So you're not gonna get critical acclaim if you don't deliver great bodies of work. If you think about Nipsey, Crenshaw, Mailbox Money, Bullets They Got No Name, you think about Don from the West Side with Love 1 and 2, Get Home Safely, RJ, I'm Your 1, 2, 3, YG, Just Read Up 1, 2, My Crazy Life. We can keep going. All the legendary West Coast artists, Draco, I Mr. Mosey 1, 2, Cold Devil, all the legendary artists have classic projects. So when these West Coast artists or new LA rappers try to pitch the whole, well, I'm going to just go with singles, it's like, okay, you're going to be a TikTok rapper and you shouldn't be looking for a critic like me to like celebrate that much. You know, you should just go for your TikTok views, but don't expect critical acclaim if you're just trying to be a singles driven artist.
Right. Okay.
I'm
that's
gonna go
fair.
together.
That's fair. That's fair. We could like confidently say that you're not going to get an A on this report card if you don't have at least one of those classics.
Yeah, because your catalog score is not going to be high if you don't have any classic projects. Is your impact, like, how big can your impact be if you don't have one body of work that your fan base deems a classic? Even if I don't deem it a classic,
right?
Does your fan base deem it a classic? So how do you have a 10 in impact if your fans can't point out a classic project from you?
Yeah. And I think that a lot of the discourse happens when, you know, I'll give you an example. You might give Kendrick is okay. Like, you might give RJ a B-, right? Okay. And then they'll look at somebody that you gave an F to and be like, well, he's more popping than RJ, and I listen to more music than from this person than RJ. And not to take anything away from RJ, because RJ deserves all the credit that he is getting, especially these last few years. But what do you say to that? Like, people who are taking your highest score and being like, well, why would you give him a B- and him an F when he's more popping?
For that particular one, which you using using RJ as an example, I would say, well, can they out rap RJ? Like, if we were to put them on the same track, who would have a better verse? Then I would put their bodies of work up against Amio 1, 2, 3, Rich Off Mackin, RJ's 4 best projects. Right. And do they compare to that? And maybe that will explain why RJ has a better grade. But at the same time, so a lot of people were stuck on RJ having a B- because he's the only B grade on there. But my response to that is 2-part response. One, he should be having the same A that Kendrick and Tyler, the Creator, have. Those are his peers. That's who he came out with in the early 2010s. Right. So that B- is low-key like F or low grade to him in comparison to what his peers are doing. Same for Joe Moses and Problem, who have C's. It's like, people are like, well, they got C's, they got good grades. It's like, well, in comparison to the people that came out around their time, they should be having A's by now. So they're still behind, just like y'all still behind in y'all era. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense?
Absolutely. How long did it take you to come up with this most recent report card?
Oh, it takes me months. It takes me a couple months to put them together.
And now in these months, is there like different like variations? Like, do you like create one and then be like, okay, let me like do it again, and like, how many drafts? Like, how many drafts?
How many? But I keep it up. It's like a file.
Okay, I see.
So it's not. I don't have to make a whole new one.
Sure.
I can just go back and change something. But like, what I really hate is like when I know an artist has a project coming. Right. But I gotta put the report card out. Like, I can't wait any longer. I gotta put it out. Yeah. But I know they got some fire on the way. Sure. And it won't affect their grade. So it's like, you get a low grade right now, but I know 2 weeks from now, you finna drop your project, so your consistency score will go up, So that deadline thing. And what I want to do moving forward is, I want to do, because right now I do 2 a year. I want to do 4 a year. I want to do it like quarterly.
Tough. I also want to bring up something that we talked about off camera. shout out this artist. His name's Tapri Grams. Am I saying it right?
Tapri Grams.
Tapri Grams. Shout out, bro. I just heard one of your songs. It was fire. Yeah. Now, you basically were like, I asked you, hey, who's somebody that I should be aware of that's kind of, that makes good music. You brought him up. And on the report card, he has a 49F, right? And so I think people need to also understand you might give an F to somebody that you genuinely like their music.
Absolutely, because it could be another category, because there's 11 categories.
Right.
It could be another category that doesn't have like much to do with music that could be affecting, or the music itself. So for him, it's his branding and music video scores. He doesn't put out music videos like that, so his music video score is going to be low. He does no branding. He doesn't do any photo shoots, no social media presence, no interviews, no podcasts. Nothing, no brand initiatives. So if you get 2 1s, that's like getting 2 Fs on big tests and then expecting to get a good grade. It's like you can get an A on this test, but if your other test you get Fs, your overall grade is going to be low. Sure.
I want to dive into this report card a little bit. So let's go from the positives, right? So
I'll put mine up on my phone.
Yeah, please. You have Kendrick Lamar has the highest score on this report card.
Yeah.
With a 94. What you gave him he had basically all 10s except in 2 categories. Yeah. Consistency and originality. Consistency being a 5, right? Yeah. So let's start with that category, consistency. What exactly does that mean?
How often is artists feeding their fan base music?
Right.
And we all know Kendrick and the bulk of TD have recently struggled with that. Right. We've seen Kendrick go 5-6 years without dropping. So he has that 5 because he did put out an album last year, but before that it was like 4 years before he dropped the album, and before that it was 5 years before he dropped the album. So he only has a 5 because he gave us GNX and he's been touring, and we've been seeing him even do features on the Clips joint and whatnot. So that's why he has a 5.
Right.
And,
okay. That's fair. So that 5 is so when you look at a Kendrick, are you looking at it from like, I know this card is from like 24 into 25. Are you looking at only 24 to 25, or are you looking at Kendrick?
Overall, it's a cumulative. It's based like, but if you have a bad year, I'm taking points off. Or if you go 5 years without being consistent, I'm taking points off. If you go 4 years without dropping, I'm taking points off for that. Sure. So that's how we end up at the 5.
Okay. That makes sense. So I want to talk about these other categories. The first one is impact, right? So something about impact is interesting to me because, obviously music is all based on who's listening to it. Yeah. What might be impactful to you might not be impactful to me, vice versa. True. How do you judge impact when it comes to artists?
Impact has many different subcategories. For example, influence. Like if you have other artists sounding like you and wanting to emulate you, I will boost your score for that. For example, like if Draco Rest Peace was alive, he would have a higher score because he influenced so many artists.
I think he'd get a 10 probably.
Right, most likely. Also numbers, ticket sales, how well your records are doing, awareness. Do people know about you? Do people know about what you got going on? Buzz is basically what I'm saying. Those are all subcategories to impact. Okay,
that's fair. Now, this also goes into, I guess, goes into a little bit of the lyricism too, right? Because lyrically, does somebody have to have like Kendrick bars to be a 10 with lyrics? Because there's a lot of artists that we love throughout hip hop that aren't necessarily the best like MC per se, but lyrically we could still say that, hey, you guys are up there.
No, ways around that would be like E40, who isn't like a backpack lyrical miracle rapper, but he comes up with so much lingo. Or even Draco, even I'm trying not to grade someone deceased, but Draco, hypothetically, if he was alive, he would get that score, a good score in lyricism because the lingo. So that still comes. Again, lyricism has subcategories. Are you coming up with your own slang and keywords and things like that, or punchlines, metaphors, storytelling? That's my favorite lyricists are storytellers.
Now, with both of these things, right? Here's something else that I also have understood about music. It's the fact that I might listen to this song, right? And I might feel like XYZ about this song. You might take something away from it. Do you feel like your list also takes into consideration that, like, is it just purely what you're thinking? Or do you ever take into consideration what maybe people in your circle might be thinking, people that you see outside might be thinking?
In where it applies. So definitely impact, because an artist might not mean anything to me musically, but I can't ignore what they mean to the game. I might not like their music or care about what they got going on as a person, but if I know the game does, then I can't drop their impact score based off that. But then when we get to something more like flow, say we're on the flow category or cadence, that is personal.
Yeah.
Because how can I not? If you ask me, how do I like Big Sad's flow? That what other thing can I go off of other than my opinion? It's just how I feel about it. You might feel it's a 10, I might feel it's an 8.
Right.
You know, who's right, who's wrong.
Right.
Yeah, it's subjective.
I do also take into consideration that you and I have both have our own life experiences that will connect. That's a beautiful thing about music, right? That our life experiences a lot of times will connect us to certain music over the other music.
Honestly,
like,
yeah.
is that, are you also cognizant that, like, because we don't share the same lifestyle and upcoming, growing up, whatever parts of LA we're from, like, do you take into consideration any of those things, or are you more like, you know what, these are factors that I can't necessarily calculate?
Yeah, those are uncontrollable factors. I worry myself sick trying to appease every single walk of life with my opinion on the record. I play the record, I look at the artist's career, I give my best assessment and opinion towards it. I grew up in the hood. I grew up in Inglewood, California. So of course, certain types of music stuck with me, but I'm also open to other types of music. Like, there's an artist on there named Samad. He's from Compton, but he makes underground music. Dope. And so just from tapping in with him, I learned about a whole underground wave that you're not going to hear from most artists come out of Compton.
Valid. That's valid. Now, I'm looking at Lefty Gunplay, Lil Vader, and Dom Kennedy, who have all received a 4 lyrically. Now, are they, so you're saying that they are all lyrically at the same level?
In their own ways, most likely, but yes, I feel like definitely, I can see the comparison between a Dom Kennedy bar and a Lefty Gunplay bar. It's sad to say that, and Dom is my favorite rapper of all time in his prime.
Sure.
But if you cut on Dom's latest project, Class of 95, you're going to find bars that you would think Lefty Gunplay wrote this. That's how simple and juvenile and sophomoric they are.
Sure. Okay, how about this? Jason Cash.
Yeah.
You have given him a 10 lyrically.
Jason Cash will out-rap probably anybody in LA, and you got to, I won't say the names, but he ghostwrites for a lot of artists, a lot of heavy hitters.
Now, what exactly are you looking for when it comes to, like, lyrics? And I want to be honestly, I hope that this conversation helps me become a better judge when I listen to music too. That's what I hope that people take away from this conversation. But what exactly dictates somebody having a 10 score when it comes to lyricism?
Well, it's not what I'm looking for. It's what you're bringing to me as a listener. It's like, it's on you to impress me. I don't mean to impress the artist. So as a listener, take away the critic part. So I'm looking for, you will be looking for punchlines. You will want metaphors. You will want storytelling. You will want those things. But like I said, an artist might not have those things, but they could give you lingo. And then you'd be thoroughly impressed with that. So it's like, you got to take what the artist is giving you, but you would just hope that they're giving it their all. Sure.
The next couple of categories, cadence and flow. What is the difference?
All right. So flow is like the God-given voice, the God-given talent itself, and then cadence is the pattern, like a drum cadence. The rhythm of it. But flow is the voice, and the delivery is everything. Probably has subcategories, but flow is like your delivery, the voice of it. But cadence is the rhythm, the patterns, the approach that you take to it. You can switch your cadences up anytime.
The artists that you've given low scores to, like these 2s, 3s, or even 1s, why even have them on this list?
I want people to learn from them. I feel like that's another reason I do the support card. It's not just about the artists that are on there. Like, think on it. You think Kendrick cares about what I think about his record?
Right.
But if somebody else could learn, an artist sitting at home or a manager sitting at home could learn from me critiquing Kendrick in this category, or critiquing one of those artists who get a low score, it's like 2 birds, 1 stone. I'm
trying to figure out, do you ever like look at your list and say, okay, this person's better than him, or are they each judged individually?
I do my best to judge them individually, but then at the same time, it's like, I'm human. So say I gave Chef Boy a 10, but I'm giving Kendrick a 10. that doesn't make sense.
Right,
you get what I'm saying? So it's still, because it's still on there. I still see the other person's name. Yeah. But like, so what are you saying as far as, you said 310 Baby, you said Chef Boy?
Yeah.
Because like Chef Boy's going off of me right now. He feels like his 5 impact is too low. He's been going crazy all week about that. And I'm like, what's wrong with a 5? What's wrong with being halfway to 10? Like if Kendrick's a 10, what's wrong with being halfway there based on one big record? I feel like the 5 is generous. It really could be like a 3 or 4. If you give it a book, because more people know Gang Gang than they know Chef Boy.
Right, like absolutely.
If I was to say like name other Chef Boy records, most people couldn't. Mm-hmm. They would just say Gang Gang.
Yeah.
So I feel like I showed love with the 5.
Right. Interesting. Mm-hmm. I wanna wrap these like other categories up. So beats. Now, do you think that the problem with the beats is the artists aren't picking the right beats, or is it the producers not bringing something fresh and new to the table? Who is more at fault with this?
Well, like I said earlier, the producer's always going to be at fault because you're responsible for the product. I think the issue is that these are beat makers. So they're just cooking up a beat and trying to sell it to an artist or place it to the artist. One, we don't have real A&Rs because the artist shouldn't be picking their own beats. Right. Should be an A&R coming to the artist with a beat pack, and then you pick from this selection. I got these 10 beats from right here. You pick from this selection, but I think these 10 beats is going to be what we make your project with, X, Y, Z. But we really don't have A&Rs like that. But I'm always going to put responsibility on the producer. If you're a real producer, you accept responsibility. If the music is bad, it's the producer's fault. It's not the artist's fault. It's no one else's fault. If the music is bad, it's the producer's fault. And if that beat maker isn't willing to stand up and accept accountability for that, then he's a beat maker. He's not a producer. He's not responsible for the product. That's what a producer is. Okay. Is there are there any producers that you really have been fucking with what they're doing? I know that you don't have any. Obviously, this is a rap report card. So, but yeah, I would love to hear what your thoughts on. I do a producer report card as well. But the Eastie Boys, I fuck with. They do a lot of Blast, Bino, Jason Cash stuff. A producer out of Long Beach named K Riggs. I still fuck with Ron and Lo the Great. We don't really have like a bevy. I like Soundwave, who did the bulk of GNX, but we don't have like a bevy of talented producers. There's plenty of beat makers. Right. People sending out beats, selling beats on their beat stores and stuff like that. But producers, people that accept responsibility for the project, can give you a whole project start to finish, give you a sound, coach you. We don't really have that. 1500 or nothing. Right. You feel me? Shout out Scum Beats. Shout out Killer Cam. But yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I think that, with all of these categories, the artists are artists. And I do think that the lack of having intelligent heads in the room to guide these artists does cause, you might have a moment, but it doesn't give you that like catapult into your next level. Absolutely. Next stage. You need that. That's neat. That tandem, that Dre and Snoop, Mustard, YG, Ron or Hit Mob and Draco. Sure. That tandem is needed to make the GOATs. Absolutely. Now, originality and versatility. Really, I want to stick with versatility. Do you think that more like, a common thing that's happening with a lot of rappers is they make the transition into more like R&B type music, and we've seen it time and time again. Do you think that that's kind of like a necessity when it comes to versatility? That's one lane. Again, everything has subcategories. So when you think about versatility, I think about, okay, do they like make melodic records? Do they make lady records? Do they make club records? Do they make something for radio? Do they make something for parties? Do they make boom bap? Do they make Midwest? Do they rap on different type of beats from different regions? Sure. Do they make worldly records? You get what I'm saying? Like there's a whole bunch of different categories to kind of check off of that. And not too many of our artists excel in that area, to be honest. I feel that. Let me ask you this. Who is your least favorite artist on this list? Like to listen to? Yeah. Yeah, because I don't, like personally, I don't care about that. But, oh, dang, that's a good question. Lil Vader. I think you knew that. You asked me. I think you knew that. Lil Vader. Because of the clown dancing, it's not personal. What's your, can you expound upon, what's your problem with Tommy the Clown? I don't have an issue with Tommy the Clown. I've never met the gentleman. I've seen him at events. I never met him. I don't have an issue with Tommy the Clown. My issue, two-part issue. One, I said that Lil Vader makes clown dancer music. Like, He has a song called "Hop Out, Get the Dance Like Tommy the Clown." That's his latest single before he put a diss record out. And then he has another single before that called "Tommy the Clown." So when I say you make clown dancing music, that's not even my opinion. That's a fact. Like your two latest singles before the diss record were "Hop Out" and "Tommy the Clown."
Right.
So for a fact, you made clown dancing music. But another tweet I went viral for recently was when I said I didn't like seeing Tommy the clown dancers on the stage at the Pop Out.
Exactly.
And I say that because I feel like the Pop Out was supposed to be like a reintroduction of the West Coast to the world. And when millions of people watching via Amazon saw clowns and clown dancers on stage, they're not gonna take us serious subconsciously. Subconsciously, I understand marketing. So if I'm looking at the stage and it's supposed to be the new regime of West Coast hip hop, and I see Tommy the Clown with a big clown wig on and little kids with clown makeup up there clown dancing, and I see red rags and blue rags and Pendletons and red flannels and blue flannels, I'm gonna be like, when I'm from Detroit or I'm from Philly, I'm from Baltimore, I'm from Florida, Chicago, when I'm gonna be like, oh, they still doing that same dusty shit they've been doing since the 90s. This is nothing new.
Right.
Like if you're gonna be new, look new, come new, come with a whole new presentation. There's other parts of LA culture, they clown dancing and gangbanging. So why not display that at the Pop Out instead of displaying the same shit we've been doing since the 90s? It's called insanity, doing the same thing, expecting different results.
Right.
It hasn't been working. Might as well have had a big ass lowrider on stage.
I do think that I came up in an era where I'm buying the CD or going to the swap meet, buying the CD. I'm opening up the booklet. I'm listening to everything A to Z. Is there any type of blame that goes to the audience?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We all
like, what can an audience member do to help the whole scene for LA? Like, if I live in LA, I'm a young kid in LA and I listen to rap music, what can I do to help the whole scene?
One, just having these musical conversations is important. I love when audiences come on my page and just talk about music, because they could be on a gang page or anything else, giving attention to that type of content, but they're on my page or my platform talking about rappers. And so that having musical conversations online, but also out of the 40-something artists on there, I know it got to be 2 or 3 that you could really enjoy. So just give them a chance, give them a spin.
Yeah. I see that.
Be open to them.
You say that. Now, let me ask you this. Who is your most listened to artist on this list?
Old Dom Kennedy.
Okay.
Older Blue Buzz Clan, even though it's not that old, but Blue Buzz Clan, like 2019 to 2023. Blue Buzz Clan. I still listen to them every day. I listen to a lot of Greedo, a lot of RJ. A lot of Big Sad, a lot of AZ Chike. I listen to a lot of these dudes on my regular, even on my off time. Even if I'm not going into the office, they still, at home, I'm listening to them.
Right. And that doesn't ever, like, when you give a 03 Greedo a 73, that doesn't ever give you a little bit of a bias? Like, do you feel like you might have given 03 Greedo an extra couple points because of the fact that you listen to him so much?
No, I feel like he probably feels like his grade should be higher. And we've had back and forth on that timeline about my grade on him. I'm sure he feels his grade should be even higher.
Yeah.
He doesn't think he's no C.
Right. I'm sure everybody on this list feels like they're an A, maybe in their heart. Maybe. Some people, I think, also
realistic.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you brought that up, because over the course of you doing this, I'm sure a lot of artists have hit you up and have been like, "What the fuck's up with that?"
Yeah.
So, how do you remember the first time that happened?
Just with the first report card, it was just all hell broke loose. Like, nobody was ready for this one. So when I dropped the first one, January 11th, 2022, it was death threats. It was people saying I'll be dead by the end of the week. It was people saying, rappers, I won't say which names, but rappers saying they was going to slap me when they saw me because they got an F. It was rappers cussing me out the top of their lung online, making videos like, don't ever associate me with nothing that's a failure. F stands for failure. It was like really, really bad. What changed it was I do an LA rap workshop every once a week. And Mustard came into the workshop and he was like, "Hey y'all, stall him out. This is just his opinion. Be happy y'all on the list, because if anybody else from a different region, like if Academics made this, y'all would just be happy y'all was on there." So he was like, clearly he's right. Like, this should motivate y'all to go to the studio and make hits and make better music. So when I got that Mustard co-sign, that's when a lot of the same rappers that had just been talking like they was gonna slap me and shit like that kind of chill.
I see. That's fair. Now, how do you navigate, like, when you first got that kind of attention, how did you navigate past that? You know, you're in LA, you walk outside, you know, you don't know who you might run into, and how did you navigate that?
I mean, I just kind of like walk with God and ask him to protect me the best he can, but the best he will, and just, you know, I just, you know, I don't know. I don't really have negative until the Rolling Loud incident. I never had a negative experience. I'll say that.
Okay,
that was my first negative experience. That I've had since I done the report card. But for years before that, prior to that, I never had any issues. People see me at a gas station or 7-Eleven or XYZ. Hey, Dejon, what's up? Report card. Woo, can I get a picture? Talk to me about it. XYZ. Always positive. Always positive. Go to Rolling Loud this year. All hell breaks loose. But I've never had any before or after that. I haven't had anything negative.
Well, I mean, we're on the topic of Rolling Loud. What exactly transpired? We saw the video.
Yeah, that's all I'm about to say. I said you guys saw the video, but prior.
And I did an interview with bro like maybe like 2-3 weeks before that too.
Really? But no, I watched. It's crazy because I watched Dom Kennedy perform. But basically, Rolling Loud's co-founders invited me out personally to do a Rolling Loud report card. Wow! So I was grading on the California artists that was performing. So I was there both days. I was in the media lounge. I interviewed plenty of artists. I come back on Sunday. I watch O3 Greedo perform. Graded his performance. Dom Kennedy's performance. So I go see Dom on this other stage. Dom does great. Enjoyed it. Walking out the gate to rejoin somebody else I had came with. As I'm walking out the gate, old boy walks up to me, like grabs my arm, says some things. I snatch my arm back, he spits in my face. And that's where the video starts and you see what happens from there.
What did he say? Because I think that's what everybody, when they watch that video, they're like, what the fuck transpired?
He told me to come holler at Rosecrans Vic. He was like, Vic want to holler at you. So he was like being Vic's goon. Like, oh, come over here and talk to Vic. And I'm like, nigga, get your hands off. Don't touch me. You could have just said it. Right. No, I don't want anybody touching me. And then when I snatched my arm back like that, he spat in my face. And that's why I had to defend myself as a man. All the journalist, professional shit went out the window. Right. Because I'm a man at the end of the day. If you spit on me, we got to fight.
Right, exactly. Now, everyone saw the video. Yeah. Did you even know someone was recording?
I mean, I would assume that people would start recording, but I didn't know people was recording. But I mean, world star, you know what I'm saying? You know.
Did I guess I'm trying to ask this the right way, but like, did it feel when people's reaction was like, yo, you better watch out for bro, like you better stop all that talking?
I was instantly mortified and embarrassed because I am a journalist. Right. So it wasn't until I saw the video and saw like, damn, I really did lay dude out that I was cool. But before that, I was really upset because it was like, dang, I'm here. Like, I'm thinking like, damn, they're not going to invite me back next year. You got to think the co-founder of Rolling Loud invited me out to great artists and this happened. So I was mortified and upset. But once I saw the video and saw how I defended myself, I was proud of myself as a man. Right. For standing up for myself. Because I could have been a bitch like Flacco. Flacco got spat on camera and No Jumper and didn't do nothing about it. I've seen other people in No Jumper get spat on and don't defend themselves and call themselves men. I don't care, like career-wise, it's not my best moment, but I feel like as a man, that's one of my best moments. Somebody disrespected me and I stood up and I defended myself. Right. Regardless of how many people they was with, what they did after, I still balled my fist up like a man and defended myself because I am a man. And I deserve respect. And I feel like spitting on somebody is we know that's the lowest thing you can do to somebody. Right, right. What would you have done in that situation?
I would have done exactly what you did, bro. I would have done exactly what you did. And I know like whoever I was with at the time too, it would have been a whole issue. And I think I would fall in the same category as you because let me tell you something. Like, you know, Steve Jobs and Elon Musk ain't on World Star. You know what I mean? Yeah, and so I feel like I would look at myself like, damn, like, why would I even put myself in a situation for that to happen? I'm a very, no matter how much it's not my fault, at least 1% was
accountability.
My fault.
Got to accountability. Well, it's like I wasn't there by myself. The people I went with just stood there while I got jumped.
That's
I was
crazy.
Not. People think like, oh, you went to Rolling Loud by yourself? Yeah. Like, no, I had like 3 people with me. Yeah. They stood there. They in the video standing there while I get jumped.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Jeez. Well, there at the end of the video, we also see a surprise attack too.
And I didn't know until I saw the video.
Right, right. So, and I know that and then there was all these like, yo, I'm gonna make sure that he's off his platform and yada. Like, where do we stand now today?
I just wanted some accountability. I feel like if a black DJ at Power 106 or any radio station was seen on camera doing that, it would be addressed. But because this person's not black, I feel like it hasn't been addressed. But I just feel like if a black DJ went to an event that station sponsored, because Power 106 is the sponsor of Rolling Loud. So if a black DJ from Power 106 went to Rolling Loud and was seen on camera kicking somebody in the head, do you think that they would be fired or it wouldn't be spoken on whatsoever?
It's tough to say. It's really tough to say. I mean, well, you asked that question and it's hard for me to answer because truth be told, like, I don't understand. No matter how much I can try to understand, I really wouldn't understand the perils that a black man goes through.
I appreciate
this.
that.
You know what I mean? That's why I can't speak on that. What I will say though is that I don't think that I think that kind of energy is always gonna put hip hop in a bad place. That these country artists, you know, they have no problem. Coachella just did the least amount of rappers they've ever had. You know, this new lineup.
Okay, yep.
And Stagecoach. It's like you don't even hear a word about it because everybody there is on some smooth shit. It's a country festival. It's only at these hip hop shows. You know, there's a reason why LA venues don't want to book hip hop acts. Like, I want to go see some of these artists and
they don't get booked.
You know what I mean?
That's why, not to cut you off, but that's why there's no stage presence category. People always like, why don't you grade their stage presence? I'm like, some of these artists only perform once a year, if that. Where are they getting booked?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So there's that. But no, LA politics coming to hinder LA rap altogether. But just to close out the Rolling Loud incident, again, I'm proud of myself for how I handled the situation.
Yeah. Okay, so going back to some of this stuff, now, outside of that, let me ask you this. You get the opportunity to, I guess while we're on this bullshit skew that we're going on in this conversation, you join No Jumper for a short period of time.
Yeah, I was there for about 6 months.
6 months. And what did you learn about, because obviously you already had this notoriety, now you come on a platform that has its own notoriety. What were the pros and cons of that situation?
I enjoyed podcasting with Almighty Suspect. I feel like I found great chemistry with him. We would argue about whether it was his grade or just hip hop debates. We had real good tandem, and it's rare that I come across people that I can like debate hip hop with on camera and get good energy. So that was one of the positives. Another thing I loved about being at No Jumper was the listening to your music streams, which is something that they had stopped before I got there. But once I got there, they started those back when people would like pay $40. And we would sit there and review their music. I would grade it. Mm-hmm. That was fun. Like when I would go do that on Saturdays or Friday mornings, things like that. So when I got to talk about hip hop, and that's why I went to the platform. I originally went to the platform because they offered me a paid position, but two, I felt like no one up there was talking about music. Everyone up there was talking about street activity or pimping or porn or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, who's the hip hop guy here? Right. Oh, you guys don't have that wide open lane for me. And they even gave me my own hip hop show on Mondays called Here We Go Again. So those were the positives. The cons were no pat downs, no real professional security. Anybody can walk in there with their gun. You can just walk in, no pat downs. Yeah. Just walk in and say hello. Anybody can just walk in.
Right.
It was the security wasn't on point, and certain things transpired from that.
Right. And now how much, okay, so you know, obviously the people who know about that situation, they've heard what they've heard and seen you talk about it, Adam talk about it, everybody else on the platform talk about it.
Yeah.
Number one, how much of that is are we able to speak on?
I'm able to speak on, whatever I want to speak on. I don't work there anymore.
Right. So then the question is, the debate is, did it even happen? That's what everybody's saying.
I got grazed by a bullet on March 2024 at the No Jumper office. I'll look into any camera and say that. I got medical reports that prove that. I got photos of the wound that prove that.
Right.
It is what it is. It's unfortunate, but that's what happened. That's what ended my tenure there. You got to think I was having a great time there. Even that morning, I did a skit because Rimble challenged me to lose 30 pounds. He would drop an album. Yeah. So I did a skit with an exercise bike on No Jumper News that same morning. Right. I was filming my evening show I just mentioned at 6:00 that day. So that incident ruined my whole No Jumper tenure and No Jumper career.
Sure.
So that wasn't something I was ready to walk away from.
I see. Now, like when the narrative comes out that like that didn't even happen and he's just making this shit up, like how did you take that?
I just posted the text messages from Adam and his brother-in-law, former brother-in-law, Josh, who's the supervisor, who drove me to the hospital and valeted his car at the emergency room and assisted me in the emergency room because I was bleeding and had a graze on my leg. I just showed the photos of the text messages of them apologizing and taking responsibility for the incidents. So if I text Adam about a shooting incident and me being grazed, why isn't he texting me back? What the fuck are you talking about if it never happened? Why is he, oh, I'm so sorry, and oh, we're going to handle it this right way. Let's keep this off social media. And I'm texting him while I'm in the hospital and XYZ, da-da-da-da-da. It doesn't make sense. If somebody texts you about a shooting incident and there was no shooting incident, wouldn't you be like, what are you talking about?
Right.
You wouldn't apologize and XYZ. So, yeah. It was just him trying to cover up what took place in his business.
Right. And how did, was there any reconciliation after that?
No, because it was just so much denial. And to me, so basically every lawyer I met with regarding the situation wanted me to go file a police report about the situation. Again, it was a workplace accident. The security guard who fired the gun, it wasn't like intentional, like, oh, I'm mad at Dejon. They was like cleaning their gun or something like that and it went off on the work floor, which is unprofessional, but I don't feel like I should go to a police station and report that. You get what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. So without a police report, we weren't able to move forward with any like suing or anything like that.
Understood. Well, thank you for clearing up some of that stuff. I know some people, I know there's definitely some people who are wanting to hear.
All the time. And people are like, oh, you didn't get shot. It's like, who would make up something like that? That's nothing to play with. It's very serious. I've lost homies to gun violence. It's nothing to play with at all. I wish that never happened. I wish I wasn't sitting at that table when that gun went off, but me and the security guard were the only people sitting at that table, and that's what happened.
Yeah. If you don't mind, I want to get back into this list a little bit.
Please.
So, Ralphie the Plug. Shout out Ralphie the Plug. That's the boy. Like, I fuck with him, and I fuck with everything that he does. He puts out, and I see that he has that 10 in consistency. Well deserved.
Yep.
Let me ask you this. He has a 69 score. What does he need to do in order to get a 79 plus on the next report card?
Just better cadences. We all know Ralphie sometimes has a hard time finding that beat. Now, after making my own diss track, I will admit it is hard.
Yeah.
It isn't as easy as people think. If you think so, step in the booth and just try. Finding that beat, find that pocket, and being able to keep up with it the whole time, it's a skill, but it's still to be credited. Like, I feel like his cadence score being like, what, a 3 or 4?
Yeah.
That's what's hurting his grade. Like, him rapping off beat all the time so much, him being known for that, low key. I feel like if you ask anybody why they don't like Ralphie's music, they're going to be like, his flow, they're not going to know that they're talking about his cadence. They're going to be like, his flow is off beat.
Sure.
But what they mean is his cadence is off beat.
I see like when I see a Peso, he has a score of a 60. Shoreline Mafia, 71 score. Here are 2 Latin artists. Let me ask you this. How do you feel about Latin artists using the N-word?
It used to bother me when I was younger, but as I got older, it doesn't, I don't give that power over me.
Okay.
But when I was younger, it definitely was something, but now it's like, I mean, if the record sounds good, the record sounds good. Like,
right, sure.
I fuck with OGZ's flow. I fuck with how OGZ approaches records.
Sure.
And we can't take away the fact that Shoreline Mafia is a legendary nervous music or traffic rap group with platinum hits and a lot of impact, and that can actually tour outside of California. They're really the only artists to perform at the Pop Out that have had any success since, sans Kendrick and Tyler.
Sure.
And then Peso, I mean, he did his thing on the GNX feature. His Finally Fed project is out. Hella features. Am I a fan of his rapping per se? No, but I love the fact that he was able to go out, get all those features, put them all on the project. And his Fish Scale record was cool as well. Yeah.
And, him being able to, I think it was the Echoplex or the Echo, one of the 2 venues, he did like a free show. I think they had to shut that thing down. It was so crazy.
No, his fans was pulling up for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I want to talk about some of those people, like so for instance, like a Shoreline Mafia, I grew up with them. They're my like close homies. I saw them come up. I look at the score of 71, and we were talking about it off camera, right? Like, that don't make sense. Like 71, like they're I feel like they're a B artist. And when you have and you put out like a consistency of 2, I get that. They just came back together as a group.
That'll hurt their score. That just right there would keep them from getting a higher grade, because that's like getting a 20% on a test. Even if you've been getting good grades, you get a 20% on a big test, the grade's going to drop.
Interesting. Now, there's 11 categories.
Yeah.
Each one has a maximum score of 10, and then you just add them up. Is that how that works?
And then you would divide them by 11.
Okay, so there's not
It's
like
an average.
Okay, cool. It's an average. Okay, cool. So let me ask you this: when someone like, okay, for instance, I hang out with people that literally purely listen to LA rap, they don't listen to Tyler the Creator. You know what I mean? Many people don't. Now, number one, why do you think that is? And number two, why does he still have like a 90 score?
Tyler the Creator. Why do people not listen to Tyler the Creator out here like that? I guess because it's not gang centric. And to be honest, that's what dominates the LA culture. Gang culture. Like, think about it. Look up the views for the Rap Report Card on YouTube, then look up the views for the Blood Report Card, the Crip Report Card, the Southside Report Card. Those views are in the hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions. People are infatuated with gang culture. So if Tyler the Creator was from a hood, from a gang, people in LA would listen to him.
That's valid. That's a valid statement.
That's really what it is. And so why Tyler has a great grade, one, he makes his own beats. He is a dope lyricist. He's been dropping by his work because for a while he wasn't consistent, but he got back on point, dropped the album last year, dropped the album this year. His branding is there. I mean, Our Future. He's the creative director of Louis Vuitton, has collaborations with them, have collaborations with Nike. Like, his brand is there. He's touring across the world. Like, what area is Tyler the Creator really lacking in significantly?
The streets.
That's not a category.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. No, I agree. I want to, for someone like a Reason, right? Why was Reason even on this report card?
Reason had a dope year with the Joey Badass back and forth.
Sure.
His record, it fails me, but the record he did with Loaded Great.
Yeah.
Against Joey Badass. Got him national coverage. You got to think Reason, he might not pop in LA, but one, he'll still do an LA Leakers freestyle that everybody pays attention to, and you can still catch him on East Coast outlets like Joe Budden podcast, and they'll be able to break down every record. I feel like he has more East Coast fans than anything. So I feel like that Joey Badass back and forth in them 2 records he put out during that.
Okay. Do you feel like the 40-some artists that you have on here, now that this report card is out, like, was there anybody you forgot to put on this list?
Roddy Ricch.
Roddy Ricch
is one of the artists, and again, it's just totally just natural. I looked up one day and I was like, what the fuck? I forgot to put Roddy on here. I decided on mine, but he hasn't dropped all year anyway.
Right, and that kind of goes into my next question, because like, if they don't put out a body of work over the last year and a half, why are they on this card?
Well, they might have some singles out. They might have did some features or XYZ, something like that. They've put out something if they're on there.
Sure. Who is the most slept on artist on this list?
There's an artist named Will Bands that I fuck with. I fuck with his songs Dweller Face, Flashing Lights. He's from Westmont. It's an artist on there named Will Bands. Top Programs, as you mentioned earlier, from Long Beach.
Okay.
Artist named Mark Nasty has, I feel like, one of the LA songs of the summer, that record with AD.
Sure.
That's going crazy.
Oh yeah, I heard that song.
Yep. So it's some dope talent on there.
Who do you think is the most overrated artist on this song? I'm sorry, on this
project on the report card.
Yeah.
If I can see it real quick. That's a dope question. Overrated. Are any of them really overrated? Probably Vince Staples. And why? And I said this on a podcast. I just did a podcast, Music is Critical, in Long Beach the other day. I feel like Vince Staples, as talented as he is, I feel like he doesn't give his all to the rap game. And I could tell when I hear him rap and when I watch his music videos, and when I could just tell, like, it's not a big priority. Like, he doesn't give it his all. He doesn't give it everything he has. He holds back. There's restraint there. And yeah, that's why I'll say Vince Staples. Okay,
that's fair. Now, this is all LA music, and with this whole interview, we've talked about LA stuff. I'm sure you listen to stuff outside of LA rap, right? What else do you listen to?
I listen to a lot of jazz music. I listen to a lot of blues music. I love blues and jazz. Okay. To be honest.
What about rap-wise? Rap-wise, outside of LA, like who right now is top 5 in the game currently?
I'ma still put Drake. Like, I could name mainstream artists.
Keep the Drake and the Kendricks.
Also, like, up and coming artists.
Sure.
Lil Shimmy, Skilla Baby. I saw Ice Wear Vezo a lot. A lot of Detroit people like PZ.
Yeah, shout out all the people in Detroit for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Rio.
Yep. I like Johnny Cinco out of Atlanta. I love Huncho.
Huncho.
A lot of Huncho.
I listen to a lot of Huncho.
Yeah.
Huncho, we going up.
Larry June out the Bay, out of NorCal. Larry June, the Russell. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, let's.
I want. I'm listening in my car on my personal time.
Yeah. Fire. I want to do like a quick. I just want to see how you build this stuff up. So a Blue Bucks clan, right? Let's say I was given the objective of executive producing their next project.
Okay.
So how exactly do I guide? It don't have to even be a Blue Bucks. I'm using them as an example.
That's a cool example. I like that example.
So how do we even start? Where do we start?
Substance. They got to talk about something. And I've been saying that for years. Like, you have to talk about like something real other than like Flemings and designer clothes and fucking niggas bitches.
Yeah.
It's like, what is the foundation of you guys, or is it just superficial flexing?
Yeah.
And if that's what it is, to me, that has a glass ceiling. It only gets so far. You don't get to the Kendrick level, the Nipsey level, if you don't like share more than that. They rap about more than just what they have and fucking niggas bitches and designer clothes. They have like real substance. Tupac has like real substance. You know what I'm saying? Like real artists, those like critically acclaimed Grammy Award winning artists have to have substance. So if I were to executive produce Blue Bucks Clan, I would instruct them to give me a project that feels and sounds like the block they grew up on. Because I feel like they never delivered that.
100%. We really don't know too much about, as much as we know about them, who they are today. We don't know what transpired to make them become who they are today.
Yeah, occasionally they'll give you a record where they're talking about like we was eating noodles, we was eating, this type of cereal, this type of, but that's like very generic. Like they never really got vulnerable and told us like what went wrong, what happened, what was your troubles, or what stresses you out now, what bothers you now. You can listen to a whole Blue Bucks Clan project and you'll walk away not learning anything about them.
Vulnerability, I really like that term because I do feel like great music is able to express that, even if it's not maybe the most generic way per se. I think that a lot of LA artists lack that that a Kendrick, when he comes out with a good kid, he wears his heart on his sleeve and his fucking lets you know exactly what transpired to get to this point.
That's what art is. That all the greats did that. All the greats have songs where they just is breaking down that wall and letting you know like what was troubling them growing up or what's troubling them right now.
Right. Okay. Going back to this Blue Bucks concept. Yo, guys, I think we need to go a little more vulnerable and a little more showing you the story of how you guys became who you guys are today. I like that. Now, if we're doing if I'm telling them let's do a project, right? How many songs do you think makes a good project?
To me, anywhere from like a 10 to 14.
Okay.
Yeah, like 11 to 14 probably.
Yeah. Now, do I need to, for you to respect my art, do I need to have some sort of Billboard success? Do I have is that something that they need to be able to chase?
No, I can respect your art with you being an underground artist. I think what people want you, and that's something that happens so much in LA, they're using this word hit, but it doesn't chart or, doesn't break through like that.
Sure.
I'm like, that's a slapper. That's a banger.
Right.
But that's not a hit.
Right.
Not to keep bringing them up, but Lil Vader's in my mentions right now talking about his song Eat It Up, which has a Rack City sample, is a hit. Like, it's a bona fide hit. I'm like, no, that's like a banger, like a party slapper. Rack City was a hit.
Right.
Like, it charted, went gold or platinum or XYZ. That's a hit. Like, so I feel like there's a difference between a hit and a slapper. But it doesn't require, for me to respect your music, nobody else has to like it. I could just be like, I fuck with it and respect it, but don't expect a high impact score. You get what I'm saying?
Now, for someone like, again, a Blue Bucks, let's say we get they do the album. The album sounds amazing. It delivers on this almost like storytelling vibe a little bit, I guess, but more, vulnerable. Going back to that word. How do we get people outside of LA to respect them?
I think if the marketing is right, whatever art they're putting into their project, the rollout should reflect. The marketing should reflect. And if it's a real, true, organic story, people from any region could relate to it, especially if it's from broke to rich. If it's a struggle story, there's hoods all over the world. So if you can make art about growing up in the hood, I feel like people from anywhere where there's a hood can relate to it.
Right. Absolutely.
Right, yeah.
Absolutely. And you say that, and I think to myself, like, yeah, you know, there's obviously that story will resonate. I do think that there's a, you know, when I travel to other states and I see my homies from other places, they don't get LA music. And there's this thing that we always talk about, like, if you're not from LA or you're not from the Southern California, you're not gonna get this music. Yeah. What do you think is the problem with that?
I mean, that would go back to the production or lack thereof, because it would be on the producer to make sure that they can make a sound that natives can enjoy, but also other regions can enjoy. But that also, it's just, we're stubborn. It's like pulling teeth, because look at how much pushback I'm getting for saying, take the clown dancers off the stage.
Right.
So they don't even want to part with the clown dancers. So imagine trying to get them to stop making the same old G-Funk beat or the same old party slapper ratchet beat. Like, they try something different.
Right.
It's like pulling teeth. It's like they just want to keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect the people to fuck with it, or being like, well, we fuck with it, so that's good. It's like, okay, well, be content with it, I guess. Right,
right. Now, you say that, like, okay, let's talk about ratchet music a little bit. Yeah. Do you go to the club?
All the time.
Okay, so you go to the club. You actively go outside and see what works. With the people.
Yes, I'm in clubs. You can catch me in the projects on certain days. You can scroll down my Instagram. You'll see me everywhere. I've been everywhere. I'm always outside. I'm not like most of these podcasters that you never see outside. I be outside frequently because that's where I hear the music. That's where I get inspired.
And I don't think that. Well, people who do see you outside, of course, they know this, but I think that a lot of people think that you're probably in your room making this up, and you have no idea what's really happening in the streets.
I don't know why people think that. They haven't been on my Instagram, because if you watch my story, I go outside every weekend. Yeah. You'll see me with my homegirls outside in the middle of the projects or in the hood, or you might see us out at a day party or a brunch party or late night at a hookah lounge turned up, or a rooftop downtown. I like to go out.
Sure. Now, I don't know too much of your story as a childhood, but let's say somebody does a trap record, right? Okay. Is there anything about that you can relate to?
A trap record?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to get money.
Yeah, okay.
I got goals and like to get money, and that record could turn me up while I'm driving on my way to do something I don't feel like doing.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying?
I use that. I say that because I'll give you an example, like NBA YoungBoy, right? Wow, what is he doing right now? It's insane.
Yeah, crazy.
It's not like that we didn't know this. He's always had these like crazy numbers, but this tour is really showing you what the fuck this guy's capable of doing. But me personally, I'm not like, I haven't fully gotten NBA YoungBoy to the degree of some of his fans. You know what I mean?
I think that's why he has so many fans, because unlike a Blue Buzz Clan or a lot of these artists on this list, he's willing to be vulnerable and share. Like when he says, I was blind when they crossed me, who can't relate to that? What adult hasn't been betrayed, hasn't had their heart broken by loved ones? Mm-hmm. So everybody in there is singing that song out with all their heart while he's performing that. That'll make you buy a ticket. But if all you talk about is Dior, Gucci, Prada, I can listen to that at home.
Right. That's valid.
I'm not going to buy a ticket to hear you flex on me.
Sure.
For an hour and a half with little energy.
Do you think that, okay, like, do you think, I also, I'm understanding that maybe I'm not in, maybe I'm not in this, like, I didn't have this storyline, or I feel like I'm not a Trench baby the same way maybe one of his fans are, and that's why it doesn't click all the way. Is there any level of understanding that, because of the fact that I've gotten a great upbringing, or whatever the upbringing may be, that's why I can't relate to a certain artist?
Yeah, but I feel like there could still be something, because it's white kids in the suburbs that grew up with both their parents that still was attracted to music from different artists that grew up in the projects and rapped about that. So it's just about, one, you just might like the sound and the music they're making, the vibe they're giving, but there could be a part of them, like that person could be eccentric, you could be eccentric. So you grew up in a nice household, they grew up in a bad household, but they're eccentric, you're eccentric. They're talkative, you're talkative. They're shy and moody, you're shy and moody. It's just about finding a connection. But if you don't express any of that in the music, people aren't going to connect. That's what I mean by being vulnerable, having substance and subject matter. Because people could connect with some of these qualities about you if you show it.
Valid. What do you think, if I was a new artist, tomorrow I wanted to start rapping, what are some of the things that I should be doing to set me up for the best shot at success in this industry?
I mean, it's a plethora of things. I do have this editorial out called 21 Tips for LA Rappers that I
Go check that out.
Yeah, 21 Tips for LA Rappers. But so it's so many different moving pieces, especially now with social media. But just give it your all. If it's really what you want to do, give it your all. Persistence, because a lot of these guys, they'll put out a couple songs, they don't get no traction. I'm done rapping. So now you wasted your whole time doing that. So making sure that you dedicated to it. Finding the right team. Obviously, even though that's kind of cliche to say, but finding the right team, finding the right environments, get involved with a circle of artists, being around other artists, other musicians if you're a musician, things like that.
I look at this list and I want to ask, what is a common mistake that the majority of these guys are making?
Oh, man. Before it was consistency, but once I start doing a report card, I noticed that they start dropping more often, so that isn't as big as an issue as it was on the first, like, maybe 2 report cards. I think lyricism got a lot of the artists. I hear a lot of Dr. Seuss rhymes, nursery rhymes. You feel me? ABC raps, 1, 2, 3, left, right raps. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so maybe lyricism is what's been getting in there. Beat selection, get a lot of our artists. I feel like the beat selection, but that's on the producer as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's certain, and then even like branding. Some of our artists have good brandings, but a lot of our artists, they don't do interviews. They don't do podcast appearances. They don't promote themselves online properly as we with the artists we went through earlier.
Sure.
You go to their social media handle is something totally different than their rap name. So now you can't even find them online. You go to their page, nothing but gang photos or like bathroom mirror selfies.
Yeah.
I remember when I would do the articles and stuff, I couldn't even find a decent photo of the artist. Like,
right.
Google them, nothing pops up. You go to the Instagram, everything is, they chucking up a gang sign or a bathroom mirror, like presentation. Every little detail matters when you're an artist. So, and that all goes to the branding category.
Absolutely. The art of the rollout has completely been lost.
Yeah.
What do you think, if going back to that Blue Bucks project that we're A&Ring right now and slash executive producing, how do you do a successful rollout? What does that take? It's
many moving pieces to it, but for me, a good rollout is about marketing and promoting the essence of the art on the project. So if the project is about, so they're from the East Side, so let's say we want them to make a project that's about the East Side low bottoms. Well, what does it look like? Okay, well, that color scheme, that's the colors we're going to use on every marketing material related. And when we have the album release party, we got that as the backdrop, and the billboard, that's the backdrop, and just uniformity. It's like it's my favorite part of the music is the rollout, to be honest, because it's you showing.
Me too, I agree. That's a valid point.
It's you showing me, okay, you made the art, now this is how you selling it to me.
Sure.
And that's an art in itself too.
Sure. That's
a whole nother way to get creative. It's like, it doesn't just stop once you leave the studio. Now you get to be creative all over again and market and promote your project creatively. So I would say just make sure it's all uniform and you pay as much attention to it as possible and get as creative as possible.
Yeah. When it comes to your critique in general, like, what do you think your hottest takes have been, where you feel like these are the takes that I've put out that people have given me the most flack for?
Well, the one I feel like did the most damage to my career is when I said I want to see more black people on the radio.
Okay.
I think that when I said that in like 2019, I feel like that got me blackballed and just a lot of negative pushback because people felt like, oh, well, what does race have to do with it? But I feel like there's nothing wrong with saying I want to see more black people be media people.
Sure.
Like what I'm doing.
Sure.
Nothing wrong with wanting that.
Right. And do you think there's like a lack of that?
At the time there was.
At the time, okay, sure.
This 2019.
Sure.
Now we've seen more, but at the time there was no young black people on LA radio, young black people obviously doing media like that.
Sure.
Around that time. So that's one of my takes. But just shit, everything I could tweet that I feel like this artist's album was whatever, and it'd be a bunch of haters or negative people upset about that. All my takes are controversial. Even the Time of the Clowns take with the pop out, people are upset about. Or when I said Lil Vader make clown dancing music, people are upset about that. Or when I say Blue Bucks Clan needs subject matter, people be upset about that. But secretly they agree.
Right.
If they took some time to listen to Blue Bucks Clan, they'd be like, no, Dejon is right.
Right. I want to ask you some fun stuff between me and you. I think we got the report card. Is there something I'm missing from this?
No, we're good.
Yeah, we covered this, right? Mm-hmm. So how far back does your hip hop, like, what's your first memory with hip hop?
That's a great question. My father, two things about that. One, I didn't have to do my homework as soon as I got home. I remember I used to watch Rap City at 5, Tigger in the Basement, and 106 in Park.
Classic.
Then I did my homework.
Sure.
So that's why I feel like I always prioritize hip hop before everything else. And then secondly, my father had this see-through like glass coffee table, and he used to have all the Double XL and Source magazines stacked underneath him. And I used to just read them because I never had summer school. Like all my friends used to get summer school, but I used to get good grades. So I used to just be able to stay at home with my pops. And so I would just read those magazines, and reading Elliot Wilson, who follows me now and I know him, he was the editor of Double XL. He was a music editor at Source. Then he became editor of Double XL, reading his editorial addresses and just seeing how he would like diss rappers. He would write little raps in there and diss rappers he was beefing with.
Sure.
Reading the album reviews. Those are my earliest memories of hip hop. Double XL, The Source, Rap City, and 106 Apart.
Okay. And now when it comes to LA rap, like who is your top 5
of all time?
Yeah.
Cube is 1. Game. Nipsey, Dom, early YG.
Well, someone like we'll use YG for example. Where do you think he's at in his career, and do you think that is there another level that he needs to take it to?
Me personally, I'm at the point where I want to see YG get into acting and like the Hollywood stuff. Like I want to see him pursue his 400 brand, 100%, 400 records, signing new artists, breaking new artists. There's a plethora of established veteran West Coast rappers I want to see focus on their labels and not putting out their own music, because I didn't really care for his Hollywood record and the past few projects. Just Read Up 3, I didn't care for it. So right now, me personally, I'd rather see YG do like a movie and a television show, as he's been rumored to do or slated to do, than hear music from him, like new music from him. If that makes any sense.
I see. Do you think that there's some importance that LA artists should take on when it comes to working with people outside of LA?
Yeah. You want to do feature travel. That's one of the 21 tips for LA rappers.
Yeah.
Feature travel. If you can get a feature with an artist from Detroit or Atlanta or Chicago, why not? Yeah. Absolutely. Don't just only do songs with LA rappers. That's ignorant.
Sure. This doesn't have to be just LA rappers, but what is your like top 3 hip hop albums?
Oh man, that's a great question. I feel like it's still gonna have LA in it. My Crazy Life is my favorite rap album of all time. That's the album I listen to every day. What Biggie album do I want to use? Maybe Life After Death. Life After Death by Biggie. I like All Eyes on Me by Pac, but that's still West Coast. But yeah, All Eyes on Me by Pac. It Was Written by Nas, Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z. A lot of 90s hip hop.
Yeah,
for sure.
so
But
it sounds like
but also like so deeper than rap. Rick Ross.
Okay.
Teflon Don, Deeper Than Rap.
Sure.
God Forgives I Don't. Rick Ross had an album run for me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, when it comes to the music outside of, okay, let me ask you this: female rappers in the hip hop space, we've seen over the last maybe let's say decade, but like last 5 years, we've really seen them come into the spotlight in a major way. Do you think that? But for LA, we don't see that.
Yep, we're in like a female rap era, screaming/female rap era of hip hop. But we haven't seen it work for any West Coast or LA artists, excluding Doja Cat, who doesn't associate herself with being part of the LA rap scene normally. I have this conversation with the female rappers all the time. They have their own reasons. Like they say like, oh, the producers try to sleep with them, the rappers try to sleep with them, and sexual advance and sexual harassment. They have those narratives, and that could be very much true. I'm sure it is. I haven't witnessed it myself, but it could be true. For my experience, it's just a lack of professionalism. Like working with LA female rappers, for the most part, not all of them, very unprofessional, don't take it serious. If they get in a relationship, they're going to ghost their career. They're not putting out any music that year, will get pregnant or focus on their children over the music, as they should, I guess, as mothers. But it's like when you're rapping and you're making music and you want to be a legend and you want to be top of the game, you got to lock in and say, hey, I'm giving myself the next 4 years to focus on my career. And I just feel like these LA female rappers don't necessarily do that. Even like my co-host, Ash Bash, last week on the show, she fell asleep. Lush, we're sitting with Lush, one from No Jumper. We having a debate on the report card. she's over here asleep. And I just be looking at her like, yeah, that's what you LA female rappers, that's your attitude towards the work is what I'm pointing out. Like, y'all just have a disposition where y'all just feel entitled, and they'll be like, oh, well, why don't y'all include us in this? And, oh, y'all don't support LA female rappers. Like, no, are y'all working hard enough? Name a classic project by a LA female rapper in history.
You know what I'm saying?
That means y'all not working hard enough, because we can sit here and name 20 by the dudes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. So, yeah. What do you think is the biggest misconception of Dejon Paul?
People think I'm a hater and I hate LA rappers and I want to see LA rappers fail, when it's the total opposite. This is tough love. When somebody loves you, like, for example, if somebody loved me, wouldn't they be like, Dejon, you need to go to the gym and work out and take care of your health? Mm-hmm. Now, I might not want to hear that. I might want to go get a cheeseburger, right?
Yeah.
But I couldn't sit up here in front like that person don't have my best interest at heart.
Sure.
If they were like, you need to diet and you need to work out. That's kind of how I look at it. It's like I'm telling LA, like, okay, no, we need to step it up in this area, step it up in that area. That doesn't mean I hate you, because if I hated you, I just would do what Vanessa Satin at Double XL does and ignore you altogether. Mm-hmm. I just wouldn't acknowledge you. I would post rappers from different regions on my page, or I would just post about gang content and make hundreds of $1,000s a year and live much, 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 much better. But I care about LA rappers so much, I'm dedicating my whole career life to it. So that's a misconception, that I hate LA rap, when it couldn't be any further from the truth.
I would be doing you and all of our viewers a disservice by not bringing up. I think that it's corny. I think that when the way that you had said it, I forgot if it was on your platform or how you said it, but you getting outed while your time in No Jumper, like that. How did you take that? How did you feel about that? And also, do you think that have played any impact into how people view anything that you say or do?
I think it's not true, because I never was in the closet. As long as I've been an adult, people have known I was gay, fresh out of high school, even during high school.
Right.
How can I be in the closet if I've tweeted I'm gay?
Right.
Like, I remember the comedian I used to work with, Duno. He said, no, like, I've seen Dejon tweet about being gay. Like,
yeah.
Like, I've had boyfriends. Like, I walk down the street with my dude, we hold hands.
Sure,
like, you know what I'm saying? I've gone on dates. My friends know who I date. Most of my friends are straight. Like, my guy friends are straight, but they know my lifestyle. Yeah. And they respect it. So I wasn't outed on No Jumper. That's the narrative they tried to run with, but how can I be in the closet if I tweeted I'm gay?
Right.
And yeah, I'm sure. I mean, like, when these rappers get Fs, they go to the gay jokes. Right. If they don't hit the fat jokes, or both of them, like, you fat, you gay, whatever it is. But at the same time, I'm thankful for the ones that don't care about that. I'm thankful for the artists like a Big Sad 1900 that'll still have me host his concert, or still call me and get my opinion on his records or his upcoming tour, or 310 Baby will have me in his video for his Bad video, have me host his concert at the Novo, things like that. I'm thankful for the artists that don't care about that, who are professional and don't care about my personal life whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely. But does that ever, do you feel like, do you ever feel attacked by whenever because again, I don't share that experience, so I want to hear how you feel when people do come at you about like stuff like that.
Well, it's ignorance, but I mean, people are ignorant, and it's just like, I grew up in the hood, so I'm used to it. It's like, this is something, when I went to school, these are things I heard. That's how I know, like, I wasn't outed at No Jumper, because I was getting teased for being gay in high school, and middle school. So it's like, just growing up in the hood, you used to it. Yeah. Or you fall out with a friend, and now it's gay nigga this, gay nigga that. It was like, we've been friends for 5 years, I was gay the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So you just become used to it. I don't care what people say about me. How do you feel about my work? You get what I'm saying?
Talk to him.
Yes, sir.
Talk to him. My brother, as we wrap this up, I would love to give you a platform. I know there's a lot of people that watch our channel who are want to be or are rappers in their own right. And I hope that they've learned something from this conversation. Absolutely. But what are some closing thoughts that you want to give to the people as we wrap up?
Man, I just appreciate everybody who's interested in hip hop, who loves hip hop, who's passionate about it. Keep talking about music, keep sharing your opinion, keep supporting these rappers. Let's keep hip hop alive on all fronts, not just LA, on all fronts in these works. So anybody who's a part of this hip hop culture, shout out to you. Let's rock. And I'm gonna keep doing my job as one of the voices of LA hip hop, West Coast hip hop.
Fire. My brother, I appreciate you for sliding through today.
Likewise.
Listen, I know we just met each other today, but I would love an opportunity to come on your platform.
Yes, sir.
I've never gone on anybody's platform. I would love to come on yours, bro,
I'll be the
because
first.
I like talking about music shit for sure.
That's what we talk about. Ash Bash gonna fall asleep.
Yeah. Nah, we'll have Sue wake her up. But I appreciate you again for sliding through. Dejon Paul in the motherfucking building.
Yes, sir.
It's Guap Fiend. I told you so. Don't act like I didn't tell you when I see you. And on that note, we out.
Peace.